So I went over and I saw this photograph of my living room. And I was like, shit man, there's a story here and maybe I can tell that story. That's how the film started. So the film became about me growing up, become an architect in a building designed by one of the great modern architects of India, Charles Play. That's what the film was. But the film was also became about another thing, and I'll tell you what that thing was. So the LIC colony, it's called LIC colony, right? And you all know what LIC stands for, no? What does it stand for? Life Insurance Corporation. So you would have thought that because this is LIC colony, my parents who lived here were LIC employees. That's what you would have thought, no? But it's not true. What had happened is that the LIC was built as an organization that was supposed to build the great nation. So it was to provide loans for large kind of dams and housing projects and things like that. So what it did is that the LIC floated a policy called Own Your Home. Okay. And in that policy, it said that okay, what we'll do, right, is that we'll offer these as life insurance policies. And when people buy life insurance policies, depending on whatever status you are, you can change the length of it, you can change the amount of money, you can do all of these things, right? And as they're paying for the life insurance policy, the premium, they're actually paying for the home. So when the policy matures, they get the house. So this was a new kind of imagination for providing affordable housing for people in India. Right? Very unusual idea. And what they did is that they said, okay, let's get Charles Fourier to design it. And so I'm talking about like, I would say the early 70s. This is from, and at that point, Korea had a certain kind of vision about what middle class housing in an Indian city was supposed to be. At that time, there was a certain idea who the Indian citizen was supposed to be. You know, we had this, the constitution that said we are all supposed to kind of strive towards equality, justice, and freedom. And those were the ideas that Korea really felt were important to the design of buildings in India. So in the buildings, we tried to create a space where, tried to create a housing where different classes, different kinds of religions could in some way live together. So he designed this colony. It's quite an interesting place. It's this, as a large, there used to be a sort of mango orchard. All these mango trees were there on a hill. That was the land that was supposed to become the colony. So what Korea did, he took a road and he encircled the whole colony. Okay, and he just put these string-like buildings entering the forest. It is dead ends. So the road never went from one end to the other. So the whole center that was there continued to be one big, untended, ekdam aise forest. And along each of those lines, he made these terraced housing buildings that used to have so on the road it was a straight facade, but towards the back, towards the garden, it had these terraces that went all the way back. So I grew up and there were 16 apartments in one building. And every apartment had a different plan. And every apartment had different numbers of rooms. There was a 1, there was a 2, there was a 3, there was a 4, there was a 5. It was also there in the same colony. What that meant is that when I was growing up, like that doesn't happen that much anymore. No? You had all the different classes of people living in the same building. You had a guy who was a peon, you had a guy who had like a large kind of workshop, a guy who had a business, my father was an electronics engineer, and we were all living in the same building. Sharing the same spaces, sharing the same infrastructure, sharing the same open spaces, playing when I was growing up. And because again, it was the Life Insurance Corporation that did discriminate on the basis of religion or caste, what you ended up getting is in my building itself, on the ground floor a Sikh family, on the first floor kind of Catholic family, third floor Muslim family, fourth floor Sikh family. So it was a completely multi-religious sort of environment to grow up in. And the buildings themselves have, a lot of what we are things should be what good housing in India is about, which is things like what he terms in his books very often called the blessed sky. That in India, you don't need to live indoors like you do in colder climates. You can actually spend a lot of time in verandas. So those terraces are about what he calls the blessings of it. All the things are about all the homes are completely cross-ventilated, in spite of the fact of the complex plans. In fact, there is an entire wall in my house that you can never close because it's a grid, jali. So even question of, we'll see, all of these things are completely changed. Even the home that you're seeing now, the furniture had to be rearranged because it was very weird. Because it's a strange house for a conventional 2 BHK flat. It doesn't work that way. So there was a series of spaces that he provided, and you had to come in to make it your home, and that was allowed. So some people kind of extended, some people, did things with their homes. And if you read Korea's book, The New Landscape, you'll realize that actually that is one of his primary. He wants people to transform their homes. That's how he kind of sees his entire role. So that's what the film started also becoming about. So the film started becoming about three things. It became about me becoming an architect, and also, the transitioning from a boy to a man, or growing up. It became about that. It became about the idea of the nation and citizenship. Because there were those ideals, right? And it became about the architecture through which we make sense of the world. Like there's a way in which we imagine order in the world now. So it became about that, about how we always try and, as architects, try and imagine ideal worlds, and how we can never really meet up to them. An ideal world is somewhere else, like architecture exists as something that we can never really become, but it's still there.